o'clock, and we will begin and call to order the September 11, 2023 Oak Park Board of Education. Call this meeting to order. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark.
Here.
Corcoran. Davis. Elvin. Hoda. Madison.
Here.
And Smith.
Here. We didn't get you to say here. But I am here.
Elvin.
I heard from Trustee Corcoran. Trustee Corcoran will not be here, but she did let me know, so we'll call this excused. And we will carry on with our business. Let's go to recitation of district mission and vision. Come on, Trustee Madison. She was ready to rock and roll. Come on.
The mission is to create an inclusive learning community that provides the best academic and social experience by educating the whole child, one child at a time. And the vision is cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens engaged in the global community.
Thank you. As we all know, probably if you paid any attention to the calendar or the news today, today's September 11th. And, you know, in remembrance of what occurred on September 11th, man, is that 20 years ago? 22 years ago? 22 years ago? Yeah, it's 2001, right? So we will observe a moment of silence as we think about the victims of the horrific acts from September 11th and the heroes who went into the burning buildings to do their best to prevent loss of life and ended up paying the ultimate price as well. So if we could do that, let's do that now. Thank you. We'll move on with our agenda with the approval of the agenda itself. In order of business, the agenda was provided to us before today's meeting. Without objection, we'll pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the agenda here is hereby approved. We'll go to approval of consent agenda, which includes two items. Approval of the minutes from the August 28, 2023 meeting, as well as the, as well as the personnel action report from today. Any concerns with us doing this via unanimous consent? Okay, without objection, then we'll pass a motion to approve the consent calendar by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the consent calendar is hereby approved. Consent agenda is hereby approved. I'm sorry, we'll go to presentations. The first one is, hopefully I say this correctly, Tyloa Parker, Oak Park High School Scholarship. Please say I said that right.
You said that perfectly.
Thank you.
Thank you. How do we roll this back? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Dr. Tyloa Parker.
I'm Shamar Wilder.
And we are representing the class of 2003. We took a year and a half, about a year and a half to plan and celebrate our 20th. And so we are so excited to be here as this is our culminating event, if you will, to present our scholarship. So thank you again for your time on your agenda today.
Our goal as a class was to not only celebrate this milestone, but we also wanted to come together and make an impact and reach back and provide a hand. We created a social media scholarship drive in which members of our class, friends, and family would donate funds, and these funds were strictly to provide a scholarship for an Oak Park High School class of 2003 graduates. I'm sorry, 2023.
Yes, so part of that social media drive, we want to really recognize the principal, Ms. Barnett, the counselor over at Oak Park High School who worked with us for days, weeks. So we know that they did not have to, but we do want to recognize them. So with that being stated, we do want to congratulate all the graduates. We know that they overcame the pandemic, COVID-19, going back into the schools and still making it through. So we do want to take the time to recognize all of the 2023 graduates at this time as well on this milestone. With that being stated, with our social media campaign, we had
three different students that we had to choose from. And then we allowed different donors and also our alumni, we allowed them a chance to vote. We had a printout of the different attributes, and each student would type in or write in their reasons why they feel like they should receive a scholarship. And then we allowed for, like I said, alumni and friends and family to vote on these things. And we kept it as unbiased as we possibly could, and ultimately we were able to choose one student.
And with that, we would like to congratulate, or first, thank our donors.
Absolutely.
As you see them on the screen, not only were they students, but they were our former teachers as well.
Absolutely.
That contributed. So we just want to also say a special thank you to Dr. Carla Pastel and Ms. Lisa Williams, who stayed connected with us throughout the years. And again, thought it not robbery, not only to donate, but also they showed up to one of our events. Dr. Carla Pastel was celebrating her reunion, but was even FaceTime so that she could see all of us. So we also want to take a moment to thank them. So without further ado, we would like to congratulate Mr. Malik Samuels, Jr. who is our scholarship recipient for our 20th year, with a scholarship of $1,000. And we did not forget about the other two. We are going to give them something special in the mail, but we definitely want to recognize Mr. Malik Samuels. He's done a lot in the community, a lot in school. He is at Wayne State University as a warrior. And so we are so very, very proud of you, and just wanted to give you just a little something to show that we appreciate what you've done, and hopefully you and your class will also pay it forward when it's your time. Okay?
All right, absolutely.
All right. So with that, we just thank you all once
Thank you.
again
Thank
for
you
your
so
time here this evening, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh. And Dad has made it. Thank you so much. Sorry, that's the educator in me. Come on.
Want to look over here, Dan?
Thank you. Thank you so much once again.
Malik, do you want to say anything?
Just being a little shy. Thank you once again.
Trustee Smith.
Yeah, to both of you, I just want to thank you. I so happen to know Shamar, is a community member, and then Dr. Parker, who so happens, whose father is one of our former trustees, brother Mr. Willie Parker, so happens to be a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And active in the community, so I just want to thank you and really enjoy that, because I know you guys need that, man.
I'm getting text messages all the time.
So good job.
Thank you. Great job.
Do we have any other board members who want to say anything, Malik? Any board? Just let me say also congratulations to you, Malik, I'm technically a Tartar, but I'm dating myself, but from a Tartar to a warrior, congratulations. It's we used to be before we were
With the
Warriors.
Warriors.
That's what Wayne State used to be. So congratulations to you. Wish you well in your endeavors, and I don't know how well you know the class of 2004, but feel free to challenge that class.
Oh, we know them very well.
Absolutely.
We can
To
definitely
do
do
the next
that.
thing, and
There will be consulting.
Yes.
you and I saw Lisa Phillips on here. She taught me English, so at Cass.
I interned over
Yeah,
under her.
so good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's what they'll.
Moving on to 6B, Cassandra Baptiste, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, ECA Fall Science Lab Kits and Online Access Year 3.
Okay, disclaimer, I will be sure in the future to make sure that these are information followed by action items and follow that process. We're leaning into making sure that we follow Board Policy 6320, where when an item is over $28,000, that we bring it before the board for approval. This particular item, it's a 3-year contract, so each year I'll make sure, that all of the items that require that they're brought, to you, and then from there we vote, or you vote, I should say. So what this is are live science materials so that students can engage in labs. This company delivers the materials on a weekly basis, and it's distributed to the classrooms throughout our elementaries, so that the students can, let's say they're doing a butterfly unit, it'll be caterpillars that are delivered until the butterfly becomes a butterfly, and then when that cycle ends, the materials are collected and they're returned to the company. They also offer online access to our science curriculum, and so we're bringing this before, it's incorporated into our budget already, but because it's over that threshold of $28,000 per the MDE, we want to make sure to bring it before you and follow that process. So that's what this is.
Okay? Any questions from members of the board? Okay, hearing none, we will go to item 7A, reports. And our only report is from our superintendent, Mr. Abdul-Hadi,
Thank you, President Alvin.
the king of pizza.
You're strong arming me here, so we're waiting on the pizza to be ordered. All right. So, I just want to say I tried helping the kids by giving them 20 points against that class when we were playing basketball, and they still lost. And I was cheating all kinds of ways, and I'm like, come on, guys, 20 points. But I'm a huge fan and advocate of people coming back home and giving back. Alumni just coming back home and serving is a testament of that seed that we plant as educators. I mean, they were talking about teachers and principals that go back 10, 15 years, and they still talk about it. And that's what makes Oak Park great, is we plant those seeds. So I do have a few announcements. So we're going to talk about enrollment a little bit today. Again, everything is tentative, is preliminary. So trying to tame it down a little bit, okay? So our total enrolled, first let me start off with our goal was to increase by 100. So we were about 31 something in person, removing those virtual that we closed. So our goal was to get around 3,200. So today, total enrolled, we're at 3,473. However, so I'm trying to tame down here. 125 have not showed up yet, okay? So 125 have not showed up. We still have about 100 and some odd that are still pending incompletes that are not included in that 3,400. So however way you parse it, we didn't lose students, but the amount of increase could be, so I know we're hitting our 100, but it's kind of exciting when the high school is nearing 1,000. That's kind of exciting. Pepper is almost at 400. I mean, we're growing. That's the good news, is that we're growing. And we're still being strategic and picky so it's not just you apply and you join. So there's certain criteria, expectations, behavior, grades, attendance, credit deficiencies, and things like that. September 15th is the deadline for enrollment, and then I'll have more like solid numbers for you, and then we'll have that. But we're looking good. We're averaging 85% attendance daily. So it's exciting. It's exciting. Now, this is all in person. This is not, this is apart. So that's pretty good news. Just to piggyback off what you were discussing, President Alvin, with September 11th, we have a lot of tools and resources that the Office of Teaching and Learning has shared with building leaders, teachers, not only recognizing September 11th, the survivors, the heroes that had given their life, but Constitution Day and different things to celebrate patriotism and heroes in all aspects of the word. Fall sports have started. Right now we have soccer and boys soccer and football. We did have our first victory. We beat Troy Athens. Okay, so I'm going to just throw that out there. Not that I had a horse in the race, but I did. So I reminded my daughter that we won. All right. So we also, the True Esports Competition Gaming, the one with the lab, we have our coach. We are going to participate in competitive gaming, not what was shared out with esports. This is actual competitive gaming where they compete against others. We got hardcore machines that, with GPUs that are phenomenal, and kudos to the IT. They're really, they got the LED lights all over with the see-through, so it's exciting there. Facilities are looking much better. We still got a ways to go, but they are looking much better. They are just district-wide. Kudos to the operations team. Just with not accepting business as usual. We're going to continue. Now you're going to see a lot of outdoor maintenance. You're going to see fences being taken down, shrubbery cleaned up, and then the fences being put back on. It just makes it easier because we have weeds and branches going through fencing, so we're going to take the fencing down, clean it out, and then put the fences back up. Capturing kids' hearts, we had 2-day training on PD. That's full force implementation. We also have Kids Kicking Cancer. That is, they've secured a sensei mentor for the students, so that is happening. Or that part is starting to happen. We also have yoga for the schools. We've secured a vendor to come in and do yoga with the students, and they're circulating in all the schools. So that's exciting. STEM, science, theater, drama specials at the elementary. Those are happening. A lot of the elementaries have secured that. We just have 1 or 2 that still, they're pending. So that is happening. We brought back languages at the middle school, so now we're teaching Spanish at the middle school level. Now we're going to slowly introduce languages at the elementary. The auditors are in the district this week. Yonyo is in here this week to do their audit, and we have a tentative date of October 23rd as the presentation. We have been running 3 audits just from previous ESSER or different kind of audits. We just completed one. We haven't gotten the results from it. So the finance department, like you said, they've been here at 11 o'clock at night. They've triggered the alarm. And when I talked to what's going on, oh no, they're still here working. And so when you do see them, that's because they are here. 11 o'clock at night, they're plugging away, so kudos to the finance department. And I think that is all I have for today, President Allen.
Thank you, Trustee Smith, and then
Yes, Superintendent Doolin. Our baseline, in regards to the one, I think the number was 127 students right now that are unaccounted for. What, 125? What's the window that we're using, I guess, the closing window to determine if these students have actually gone to another
Who
school?
will have transferred, right, so September 15th is the deadline. Then we look back, if we've got no correspondence with them within 10 days, then we drop them.
Okay.
But sometimes the records requests take forever to come in. They might be attending another school,
Okay.
and we don't know it because the records request. So on September 15th, we look at correspondence, and then if we don't have any communication with them, then we send them information that we're dropping you from that. But they've been calling, they've been emailing, they've been sending letters home, and sometimes the parents, we did get a few that said, oh, we're coming back after Labor Day, we're on vacation.
Okay.
We're like, well, you enrolled in here knowing that that's the first day of school,
Right.
but we're trying to be flexible right now. So 10 days after September 15th is the cutoff, then we look at 10 days, then we drop.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Davis.
That was my question.
Okay. Trustee Hood.
85% attendance, how does that compare to what we've seen in previous years?
So the complaint in previous years have been that students are not coming to school. So we know at any given time, we're averaging 85 or higher. I think today was a low at at the high school was like high 70s, but we don't know why today was a low point. Elementary, they're in the 90s. They're in the 90s, and so we look at it as all schools. So we take the average of all schools. So it's better than it was before. It's not where we want it because we want those kids in front of teachers.
You asked about 85, because 85, is 85 the threshold?
No, my question was how 85 compares to where we've been previously.
So last year there were 12 days that you didn't even make 70%. That they didn't even count for the state, or 75%, I'm sorry. I believe 75%,
is the
yeah.
threshold.
Yep, and then they didn't even count. And then there were some low points where some of the buildings were in the 60s, but we used waivers like building issues or snow days or act of God days to offset that. So right now we're looking good, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two concerns. There's a concern about the 75% threshold and the
Yeah.
funding. There's another concern about if students aren't in the building, they're not learning. So yeah, and what are we doing to address that high 70s number in the high school?
Well, no, that was just today. So we are looking every day. So in order for us to actually look to see if it's a trend, we got to see a pattern. So right now we're looking at the patterns. We're looking at the trends. If trends are higher, then we continue. But we're trying to motivate and get the kids excited to come to school. So right now everything is fresh, preliminary, so we're not looking to take any action right now until we actually have a trend.
Okay, anything else from any of the board members? All right, here and now we're at item 8, public participation. Come to the part of the meeting where the public has an opportunity to address the board if it so desires. Public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board with the understanding that board members are not able to respond. Trustee Davis, would you please provide the public comment guidelines?
Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comment on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members. We do not have any public comment cards at this time.
Okay, no public comment cards, and well, I'll just save you the trouble. I don't see any members of the public here at all, but I'll just ask once. Anyone? Hearing none, we'll go to action items. Number 9A, approval of speech language. Approval of speech language pathologist therapist. Trustee Smith, you want to read that?
Yes. Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approves a contract with Anthromed Education for a full-time speech language pathologist for the 2023-2024 school year.
Motion is made by Smith. Is there a second? Seconded by Trustee Clark. Any question on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
and Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll go to item 9B, approval of ECA FOSS Science Lab Kits and online access. Trustee Davis.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education adopt year 3 of the 3-year service agreement for the purchase of ECA Science Kit services. These services are to be used across K-5 science lab instructional programming. The costs are Pepper Elementary, $19,901, Einstein Elementary, $21,042, and Key Elementary, excuse me, $24,710 for a total of $65,653.
Okay, motion made by Trustee Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
I got Trustee Madison, had her hand up first. She beat you to the buzzer. Are there any questions? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
and Hoda.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 9C, approval for trustees Sandra Clark and Albert Smith to attend. Oh, sorry. Approval of, we renamed it. Approval for board members' attendance at the MASB Annual Leadership Conference. Is there someone want to read the motion? Trustee Hoda.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approved trustee Sandra Clark and Albert Smith's attendance, travel, lodging, and food expenses to the Michigan Association of School Boards Annual Leadership Conference, November 9th through 12th, 2023 in Lansing, Michigan.
Motion is made by Trustee Hoda. Is there a second? Seconded by Trustee Davis. Is there a question on the motion?
I have a question. And I know it says 9 to 12, but I looked at the agenda, and some of the pre-registration starts that Wednesday, so should I go that Wednesday? Should I go Thursday? What day should?
Wednesday is November the 8th.
My birthday.
So, since
This is my first time going,
Yeah.
that's why I'm
So since the sessions begin Thursday morning, there's, sometimes people come Wednesday night to stay there. There may also be some pre-conference sessions on Wednesday as well. Sometimes they do that. There is, yeah. So then you may even go Tuesday if you wanted to.
If you would.
Do we need to
I could do
make a
Wednesday evening.
change to say 8 through 12, or we fine?
'Cause it
Just
says-
understanding that they're,
I'm fine with that, but I'm happy to amend my motion. if
okay,
that's
please go ahead.
desired by the chair.
Let's do that.
So, thank you for
As long as
pointing
you
that
do
out,
the whole
Trustee Clark.
motion, but it's your call.
I would like to amend my motion to change the number 9 to the number 8.
So November 8th through 12,
November 8th through 12,
2023.
yes.
Okay, and I think it was, you seconded, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we still good on the
Yes.
second, okay. All right, any other questions on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Griffin, call the roll.
Madison,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
and Hoda.
Yes.
Okay, now we're at item 9D, which is sort of a follow-up to 9C, certification of delegates for MASB Annual Leadership Conference. Trustee Smith.
Okay. Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education hereby appoint members Sandra Clark and Albert Smith to serve as voting delegates on behalf of the Oak Park Board of Education at the Michigan Association of School Board Annual Leadership Conference, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023 at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Lansing Center, Lansing, Michigan.
Point of order, Mr. President.
Yes.
I believe the assembly, which is being referenced, is Thursday night, November 9th.
Yeah, so we can stick with
Oh,
what's
okay,
here,
stick
so-
with the,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
So you
Appreciate it.
want to just update that part,
Okay. All right, so,
just the part that.
right, so the recommended motion should read as is Thursday, November 9th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion. Who's that there?
Page.
Okay.
Madison.
Motion is, I heard a couple of red, I didn't know who it was. Motion made by trustee Smith, seconded by trustee Madison. Is there a question on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Griffin, call the roll.
Madison,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
and Hoda.
Yes.
Thank you. That takes us to our information items. We'll go to information item 10A, bid recommendation custodial and maintenance services. I assume that is Mr. Phillips on that? Okay. Floor is yours.
Okay. I sent you all in your board packet on Friday the information regarding the maintenance and custodial bid. We bid out the beginning of last month. We had 23 companies come visit the district. We had 2 walkthroughs, and we had 10 responses to that bid. Since then, we've been kind of going through them. The original bid had both snow removal and grounds maintenance included. And in reviewing it all, we backed out the grounds maintenance, backed out the snow removal. We're gonna bid that separate. So it came down to custodial and maintenance alone. We are still looking into the details regarding those. Vendors 1, 2, and 3 are the 3 that we were looking at. We don't want to really note the winner at this point. We're gonna do that at the next.
Can I interrupt you? Because the agenda's public, when we discuss, we're just gonna discuss, we named them all vendors, so we're gonna look at all the vendors, not just 1, 2, 3. We're looking at them all, and we'll present you more details. So we wanna look at them all
We are looking
without
at them.
saying, okay.
Are these apples to apples comparisons, or, I mean, or is that what you were saying?
Yes, they are apples to apples. We're just double checking, making sure that, there's a lot of data. There was 110 pages of data. So we wanted to make sure that we're making the right selection at this time.
Oh, that's pretty, gap's pretty wide there. Okay, understood. Any questions for Mr. Phillips? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to item 10B, NSBA 2024 Conference, April 6th through 8th, 2024, New Orleans.
Oh.
Would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, I had heard about it, then I saw an email on it, so I would be interested in attending if there was no one else who wanted to.
This was the group
National,
from last year,
National School
right?
Board
Yeah, that was
Association.
actually pretty good. I actually,
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the sessions. That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
So can I say something?
go ahead.
So you talked about team building board retreat that you've never done. So within your budget's 39,000. You have plenty if you want to use this as a whole board, where you go to a conference or retreat. I'm just saying the revenue's there or the budget's there, however you want to approach it.
Yeah, we would have to focus solely on the issue.
Yeah, amen, amen.
But I understand your point. So you want to go to?
Yeah,
You'd like to go to?
Yes.
You'd like to go to? Okay.
I'm not 100%.
Thank you. Are you planning? Are you
Trustee Corcoran
wants to go?
wants to go.
I would not be able to go for Friday and Saturday, but possibly I could go for Sunday.
So basically, we should prepare for basically
Everyone.
almost everyone.
Also keeping in mind the day you come back, we have a board meeting that night too.
Understood.
Yeah.
That's the way business works. This is all. Let's be
But
great.
Pat will be here, she could get all our agenda stuff emailed to us, right? Okay.
You just gotta be ready to rock and roll, so that is, if you can't handle it, stay home. I mean, so get off the plane and get to the board building. I don't know what to tell you. This is, that's,
How long do we actually have to decide? 'Cause I-
Early bird registration, I have until December 4th, so we're doing so you have plenty of time to think about it, but
we prefer, you wanna go to get early bird so as not to incur any additional costs in the district that are unnecessary, if possible.
You said December 3rd?
so for early bird, yeah. Well, there's early bird. We're trying to get us at the early bird. The early other one is January 4th, but we're trying to get us in before.
You trying to do an early bird?
Yes,
There's such a thing as early bird?
that's what they called it. Let me just double check. They called it early or,
Can you register us to know we're going for sure and then,
6 to
or you wanna do it all at once? Would it be easier?
23.
It'd be better to do it all at once.
6 to 6 to.
You can make the resolution at the next board meeting.
We can, so, let's, 6 is a Saturday, so, 7th is Sunday, and then, obviously the 8th is Monday, so it seems weird, like, different from what they did this time, which was more days, and it started on like Thursday,
oh,
and went through like Monday of the following week, or Tuesday of the following week.
it's called advanced early bird, December
Not really
20th.
early bird, okay.
There's early bird January 19th, there's advanced. And there's a lot of pre-conferences that are not on there that are really good if you go in, if it starts on
So if you
On
go the day before.
the day before, there's a lot of great resources.
Do you have that available, the itinerary?
It's online.
It's on, I could get the schedule stuff and email it to you guys.
Trustee Clark, who's probably the
It's
only
online.
one who's not sure she's going, she can send it to me.
Y'all got grown kids, I got a little, so I have to coordinate 8 months, figure things out. And I have to plan it around my husband, who works for the post office, who we all know, they always work every day. So I have to coordinate with him as far as his vacations are concerned.
Thank you, Trustee Clark, you got that on the record.
And I add to the record that I have a almost 3-year-old at home.
So you understand.
And I got one that just turned 2 days ago.
Alright, so we'll prepare.
Again,
for-
this side of the table.
This side of the table, this side of the table.
Empty nesters here.
We've been there, and done all that. All right.
A level 3 eloping autistic child.
Too bad.
You pulled out the heavy artillery on us, okay.
I got you.
Ms. Greer, so we'll have that ready, teed up for the next meeting. I assume you will be.
Yeah, it's the weekend, so I'll probably fly in with you guys on Friday.
Very good, sir. Okay. I would just say if there's pre-stuff and it's worth it, whether we attend it or not, I would just make sure the action goes
Yeah,
back
I
to
have
that
the
date
fifth
so that we
on
don't
my
have to
calendar.
play with the date.
Yeah, so that's what we'll put window.
Okay. All right. Going to item 10C, MASB Advocacy Institute, January 28th through the 30th, 2024, Washington, D.C. You see, I'm looking at you, right?
I didn't see you.
Don't you normally go to this one?
Oh,
Is that this?
no.
It's not this one?
So first of all, it's NSBA Advocacy Institute. I've gone to it once, I believe that was 2010. No, that's the special ed meeting.
Okay.
But this, I have gone to this once. It is a very good conference. Every year I think about going, and I haven't been able to go, but I'm thinking about going this year as well. So I will let you know.
What's the premise?
The premise of the conference?
Yeah.
So National School Board Association has its Advocacy Institute. So the first couple days is a conference in a hotel in Washington, D.C. where they talk about public school advocacy. And then usually the Wednesday, I believe it is, they go up to Capitol Hill and meet with our representatives. Or I'm sorry, I think it's Tuesday. They go meet with the Congress people, the senators. Michigan traditionally has the biggest delegation. Oakland County traditionally has the biggest delegation. So it's a great conference if people are able to go. It's a great opportunity to learn more about some of those education issues and how they're being, and to advocate directly with those who represent us in Washington, D.C. And then usually Wednesday, Oakland County stays one extra day if people are interested, and they go to they usually go to a embassy where they learn about education in that country. Sometimes they also have meetings. Oakland County will sometimes also organize extra meetings in the Department of Education and other things, but that's the Government Relations Committee of OCSBA is the one who organizes that. Right now, we don't currently have a member who's attending those meetings, so if somebody wants to attend those meetings on the first Wednesday of every month.
Government Relations Committee.
Yeah, Government Relations Committee. We have a board member who's designated as our representative. That board member has not been able to attend any of the meetings. I was attending the meetings for a little while, and now I can't attend the meetings either. So that's, and any board member in Oakland County is allowed to go to those meetings.
All right.
They are going to be on, so the first meeting of the year was in person at Oakland Schools. That was last week, and then after that, I believe everything's on Zoom.
All right. Well, that's two things, but that's something to consider if any of our board members want to attend. I'll have to check my calendar and look to see. I think it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it does.
So,
I'm able to go.
and
My calendar is clear right now.
I've never.
Sometimes, President Alvin, it's good for them to hear from us, to see us, because sometimes they just pass legislation without
Of course they do.
thinking, and so when they hear from us and they see how you are advocating and how their decisions are impacting how we operate, the best way to get movement is when they see you in person.
Yeah, it's a very good conference, and it's very important to have those meetings. It always seems, not always, it always does fall out the same week as my children have winter break. So, or either like the week of, or the week before, or the week after, and so that becomes a conflict for me. This year it falls out the week of, so I'm considering convincing them that we should go. We should do we should visit in that area, and then maybe they'll sneak away a little bit. But that's, yeah, it's very worthwhile. I think if board members are able to attend, it's a great.
All right, I'll check, but it's worth noting, and when's the early registration for this?
Good question.
I could get that, I'll work with
Yeah,
Pat
just,
tomorrow and
you don't
get you
have to
guys
answer
that.
now, we can
Yeah.
figure that out through email if you want to,
Okay.
let us know, whatever, through email, and we can each individually respond to you without copying everybody, then that should work. All right, and then, we've got,
And I believe also, actually, I should bring this out, so the conference is Sunday, like I said, it's Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday they go up to the Hill, Oakland County stays Wednesday. There's also, on Saturday, I believe, there's usually a pre-conference for urban boards of education. The Council on Urban Boards of Education has a something on Saturday as well.
definitely something to consider, and we'd love to have some representation, whether everybody goes or one or two people go. I'll check my calendar as well. Love DC in general, so. All right. Thank you for that. Are we on item 11, board administration, oh,
Early bird, by the way, is up to October 20th.
okay, so we got a little time. Before I go to item 11, just real quick, for those going to these conferences, please bring back some nuggets of wisdom. We don't need a dissertation where you're here talking for 15 minutes to an hour, but some nuggets of wisdom are helpful when we attend these, and it's also worthwhile to get that out there at the table. That everyone knows that, traveling on the district's dime, at least we're getting some knowledge and some information that can be useful to the rest of the team. So, just as a reminder. Board and administration communications, any communications from members of the administration? Members of the board? Okay, any addendum? Okay. Trustee Davis, would you let us know when the next board meeting is?
The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Monday, September 26, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the boardroom.
25th?
No, it's supposed to be
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday then, yeah.
It's supposed to be Tuesday, September 26 at 7 p.m. in the boardroom. I won't be there.
I will say we moved that for me, for Yom Kippur, and I have a work conflict, so I won't be able to be there anyway. So,
Did I?
Can we move it back to the?
Did I send you all anything on that?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sent it.
You put it in our calendar.
Why ain't on my calendar?
When we went through all the dates, we talked
Tuesday the
about it.
26th.
Tuesday the 26th.
Oh, moved it on Monday.
I'll have to figure out why it's not on my calendar. Anyway, nonetheless, do we want to continue with the 26th, or do we want to just go to the 25th and have the meeting? Does that create, either one create a
Won't
problem?
create a
for y'all?
problem with us.
What is the pleasure
Was there a
of the
problem
board?
with that?
I'm fine.
He won.
I can't make it either day.
He can't make it either, so I want to know what would you say?
Was that the reason?
Oh, he asked me,
What is your pleasure?
Ooh. My pleasure.
Your pleasure.
Our regular schedule.
Does anyone have any issues with moving that meeting to Monday, as right now we're scheduled to go Tuesday?
I won't be there either day.
It won't matter to you one way or the other? That means the rest of us have to be there. So,
I have a math exam that I can make it. I might be crying a little bit.
not
You're
gonna
gonna
be
be
crying.
You're gonna be all right.
Come on.
I got pizza.
So,
I smell it.
are we good either day? Are we good to go to 25th then?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we go on the regular day?
September
We,
25th.
I suppose we need a motion to make that change to the calendar, or not? What say you, Ms. Greer?
No, we'll just go. That's fine.
No motion needed?
No.
Okay. All right, so we're fine to move that, so we will go on that Monday then.
You want me to reread it?
No.
Okay.
Everybody knows we're going on Monday. All right, if nothing else, without objection, we will pass the motion to adjourn the meeting by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so?